9:10 a.m. May 5th, 2025. Well, I know there's other things on this date that could be brought forth, but you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and bring out some aspects of past realities, seeing how we have these powers of control that is slowly rewriting past history and coming up with new names for certain days of celebration, especially that of military. And I have to speak out. I am sick and tired of this nonstop rhetoric against our neighbors, China. I'm one that will root for the underdogs. I watched a movie last night from 1958 to where one character was making mention to another character, and this is how it went. You know, I don't see why we didn't drop a bomb on China after what they did to us. And this is in reference, I believe, to World War II, whereas China was a very strong ally to the United States, supposedly in the fight against Japan. But what happened afterwards, after the war? The United States basically gave up on its strongest of allies, turned back on imperial China to where it was taken over by communistic control. Why? Because the U.S. ignored their ally after the fact. But gee, somehow Japan became the ally. Okay? Here another year, all those that invest into AI and cryptocurrency will lose. You better start making plans to withdraw any investments into the digital world. Because in about a year, it's going to go belly up. Stock markets will crash because of artificial intelligence. Through this, in the year of 2027, 27, 27, be in trouble. Yes, we are talking war. We are talking a major upheaval in world events. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you. I am a chosen one and I know these things. And gee, if you were to actually be in my shoes and follow along with what little research that I do, and you start seeing all those common denominators, and they start to add up because you're connecting the dots, you might see more and more of that big picture. But already I can tell that because of my claims of who and what I am, nobody's listening. Sad, because I know what's coming. So do many others that have awakened to the deceptions and the corruptions of now, in the present, and of yesteryear, and throughout much of history. when even the CIA has files on the chosen ones because of factors of reincarnation, which, gee, even AI declares as being fictitious, just like the time loop theory. Oh, ask AI about that one. See, everything that I come out with, I am coming across a lot of pushback against my narratives, in which I firmly believe that my narratives are correct. And more people are going to be coming to the table and realizing, you know, Morgan, I always thought that you were a batshit crazy conspiracy theorist. But you keep coming up with this stuff. And it's making more and more sense. A lot of deceptions out there. And already the rewriting to history is unfolding. Prophecies have become reality. Oh, but once again, you go to that so-called intelligence factor, and it's going to say otherwise. And then there's this issue with copywriting and AI. Yeah, go down that rabbit hole, why don't you? Yeah, I've been having a little bit of fun this morning with Google. A little bit of fun with Gemini, from this Gemini. Give me another year. Alright, we're back. And the current time is 9:25 a.m. I thought I'd go ahead and add this on to the previous clip. One person, one viewer, posted a comment requesting that I update my reading into this book here. Well, to be perfectly honest, I've only taken but a couple of minutes to get into this book. And where did I end? My reading. And we got to be careful because this book is very old, from 1972. And what is the reverse of 72? 27. And where did I land? On page 27. Flowing with Tao. Or, in the reverse, a meal of oats. Oatmeal. Yeah. Okay, so what have I gotten from this book so far? Well, you know, it's kind of crazy, but Mr. Watts was basically saying a lot of the main mottos in this book as what we hear today. Go with the flow, because it is what it is. Something is nothing, and nothing is something. And everything is something, yet nothing. So basically, all these years later, now in 2025, people are unknowingly repeating a lot of what Mr. Watts was writing many decades ago. A lot of wordplay in that book. I believe that I've kind of got a similar mindset as Mr. Watts, or the mindset that he once had. But pertaining to the wordplay that he uses, as much like how many people are using wordplay today by splitting words down into their syllable forms. And let's just go with this as an example. We are in the spring season. Season. Two syllables. Cut that word in half. You have sea and sun. A son of the sea. Apparently, my name, Morgan, would be that in relation to season. Because after all, Morgan means to be born by the water or of the sea. And I am my mother and father's son. See, little things like that is part of the equations of connecting the dots, if you will. And that's something else that, this is just a little example of how Alan Watts would see things. A lot of it through wordplay. Now, you associate that with politics and the wordplay. The judicial system and the wordplay. Constitutional amendments, laws, legislations, so on and so forth, and all the wordplay that takes place. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of corrections in the future in regards to words. But will words be drowned out by sounds? Because when you think about it, a sound is in frequencies and vibrations. And that is going to be one of the main topics in the future, is that of frequencies and vibrations. And there is differences within those words and definitions thereof. But I'm not going to go any further down that rabbit hole. No, I just wanted to do a little bit of an update on this book. Yeah, I will continue reading, but already I know, because of what little I know of Alan Watts and his philosophies, his writings, and his messages, that basically the rest of the book will be of the same as these first 4 chapters, if you want to call them chapters. Because basically they're nothing more than writings in a journal of a man's thoughts as he walks alone. Yep. But like I said, I will finish the book. Whether I give any further updates or not, I don't know, because I might not be back until the end of this month. It might be time for a little bit of a hiatus. Have a great one. Maybe we'll see you once again back here on this flip side. Maybe. Alright, it is 9:25 a.m. and we are back really quick, unfortunately. But I don't want to be a source of confusion or misinformation. And so I need to come out with a bit of a retraction and correction as far as the date that I provided of 1972. No. And I'm going to go ahead and show the copyright dates to this. And once again, like I told you, I don't know much about Mr. Watts. Okay? And I'm not sure how clear this is going to come out, because it doesn't look like it's very clear whatsoever. Come on. There we go. So anyways, okay, so this edition came out in 74, okay? The copyright, original, is 68, 1970, 71, no 72, and then 1973, okay? Now then, I would also like to make mention that, okay, 1972 is not one of the copyright dates, okay? So, my bad, and I apologize. That is why I feel I have to come out with this correction. Now then, furthermore, 1974 was a year after Mr. Watts died. Okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and show this. Because, right here, Indian and Chinese philosophy. Alright? Yeah. Just remember that. We will be going into... There we go. Stupid camera just will not focus anymore. Thank you, AI. Yeah, I'm so disgusted with, like I said, with the infiltration of this artificial nonsense within my digital device. I gotta leave it at that. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah.